The reaction is one that is a little bit mixed between people really realizing that we've reached such a grim milestone, 200,000 deaths. That's 20% of the world's reported COVID deaths, when the United States represents about 4% of the world population. But at the same time, you have a feeling of people sort of getting numb to these numbers because they keep growing, and we keep passing those marks that the scientific models had set up. The 200,000 mark, for example, was supposed in the models not to be reached until the middle of October, and we've reached it already before the end of September. But at the same time, there is this issue with how Donald Trump is presenting it. Of course, he said that he was giving himself and his administration an A+ on handling the coronavirus. Yesterday, again, during a rally in Ohio, he said that things were going well, that they were bending the curve, and that really this coronavirus was not really that big of a problem, that it was mostly the elderly and the people who had other physical or medical issues that were at risk, and that the general public, so to speak, was not really at risk, and that it was going to go away, as has been repeating over and over again, that it would be going away soon. The numbers, unfortunately, keep growing. The cases keep growing. Here in the US, an average of 800 people are dying each day still.
And of course, Trump at the UN General Assembly in his recorded speech blaming China, saying China must be held responsible. Of course, we all know that the virus originated in Wuhan in Hubei province in China. I'm wondering how that Trump's speech, the call he made, how that resonated in Washington and beyond, because clearly he was addressing his support base.
Well, it's interesting to see how he's dealing with the PR part of explaining his handling of the coronavirus, because at the same time, on the world stage and even in his rallies, he is accusing China. He said again in his UN speech that China unleashed the plague upon the world, pretty much, and he's been calling it the China plague, the China virus, saying how China was responsible for everything, not only for being the origin of the virus, but also for not taking enough measures to contain the virus within its borders. But at the same time that he's saying that this is a plague, he's also, as I said, saying that this virus is not that big of a deal, is not that deadly, and his supporters pretty much understand that and see it that way. You see it at these rallies when you have thousands of people gathered without social distancing, without wearing masks. And again, in Ohio last night, the lieutenant governor came out on stage before Donald Trump, and he came out on stage with a mask, a MAGA mask, the Trump mask, and he asked the people there to please wear masks, and he was met with boos. And that is because Donald Trump has been saying over and over again that these masks aren't really useful, that this virus is not really that deadly, that it will go away. Yet, at the same time, trying to blame China and trying to use China as the scapegoat for his handling of the coronavirus, because the polls are still pretty clear that a majority of Americans see Donald Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic as not at all in a positive light.